They call it the Acer Concept. Wow. This is my voice today. All right. I need more tea. Goodness, I need more tea. Let's try this again. They call it the Acer ConceptD 5. And in this video, let's unbox it. This is a laptop that I first took a look at about a year ago. I liked it. It had good performance, a good color accurate screen. Hard to get out of the box though. But I was not overly impressed with the build quality. So I'm hoping that this year we have some improved build quality elements. Now this does have a 16-inch screen, so we're gonna see a greatly improved, really user experience. But I'm hoping the build quality also improves as well on this device. Okay, we got the laptop here. I like their packaging. That's one thing I really like about the ConceptD lineup. They have a really neat packaging. Nice little charger block. Looks like we have a, what do we got? 230 watt charger block. Size of it there. So that'll be good to have. It's good to have a charger block. That's off the desk. And now for the laptop. Looks like we get a donut. Dessert. Interesting. Don't know what that is. Figure that out later. Okay. It feels thinner than the previous model. That's a really good sign. And again, forgive me for my voice. I've kind of lost my voice over the past couple days. But the show must go on. Okay. I already like the build quality slightly better. The previous 5 was actually really remnant of like a Acer Predator Helios or more like the Acer Triton. And so it just didn't have as much of a professional look. Right off the bat, as you can see, there's no like odd funky edges or cut-ins. It's a very clean aesthetic. Let's flip it over, look at the bottom. Again, a very clean aesthetic on the bottom. These 3 feet along the bottom here. This foot sticks up a little bit higher. Hope we can get some air ventilation through the bottom. And it looks like without even uncovering the bottom of the chassis, which we will do later, there's 3 fans here that we can see right off the bat. And then we also have a big fan vent along the back of the chassis. So far, I will say that truly this is a better design aesthetic than the previous model. So Acer, way to go. I'm super excited about this. Now the bottom panel was set into the side panels fairly well. It sits a little deeper than I would have expected, which creates a little bit of catchy edges. But because of the all aluminum build, it doesn't feel cheap, but it is a little catchy, just so you know, there along the bottom of the chassis. Let's go ahead and get this thing flipped over. And let's check out the open and close of the lid. But first and foremost, let us not forget, let's check out those ports. So regarding the ports, we have an SD card slot, USB Type A, USB Type C, Thunderbolt, and HDMI. On the other side, we have a headphone jack, USB Type C, Thunderbolt, and a USB Type A, as well as a network jack and a power port. Now, I like that they're still including the network jack, but it doesn't make the chassis any thicker. They don't make it bump out at all. I think that was a really good design move, and it made this laptop much cleaner than even a laptop like the Asus ProArt. Let me show you real quick. So even the Asus ProArt sticks out a little bit. As you can see here, it kind of bumps out. Let's see, there we go. It kind of bumps out at the bottom, and they did not do that. So honestly, great move on Acer's part for not making that bottom bump out. It gives us a nice smooth side panel, which I love. I think that just is really tasteful. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing open and closed with one hand and see what we got going on here. Open, remove, close, open. All right, man. This is really better than the previous model. I am sincerely pleased to see the improvements here. A little dust on the screen. More tea. So the 16-inch panel is a much improved aspect ratio for video editing, working in Photoshop. It just gives you more room on your screen. A taller aspect ratio, to me, has been working so much better. It's weird how I got so used to a 16:9 because that's all laptops came in for such a long time. And then somebody's like, hey, let's do 16:10. And it just really opened up the floodgates for people saying, yeah, that's such a better design. Taking a look at the keyboard, we have a nice, simple cluster. I like these extra keys down the side here for your music, pause, stop, next song, back. And then we have our toggle switches. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves, so I'm going to ding them on this, but it's a personal preference. They gave us a 3/4 shift key. I hate 3/4 shift key. I always miss the shift key when I'm typing when it's a 3/4. I end up hitting the up arrow, and I have to just really get used to that 3/4 shift key. So I wish they would have just given us the two smaller up and down arrows, as I use those much less than I do the full size shift key when I'm typing. Good key travel. A little bit more medium to long key travel. It's quiet, snappy, and it looks like we have an orange backlighting on the keys here. We have a fingerprint reader for quick login right there on the trackpad. And let's check out the trackpad. Ooh, a very nice trackpad. It's got more of that soft, muffled click rather than that loud, like, click noise. So I really like that. I'll do a full audio sample once we do the full review so you guys can check that out. But for now, know that, man, that's a nice, soft, really satisfying click on the trackpad. Okay, let's back up a little bit, do the screen flex test, do the center press test, see how this looks. Definitely some screen flex on this screen. Pretty expected out of most laptops these days, except for the latest MacBook Pros. Those have, I would say, like 1% screen flex, and this would be like 40% screen flex. So that's pretty crazy how little screen flex the new MacBook Pros have. And then some at the bottom for sure. Now let's check the center of the deck, see how much flex we have there. It definitely pushes down a little bit at the center of the keyboard deck, but doesn't seem too concerning, but it definitely gives a little bit there. It does have a webcam along the top bezel, and it doesn't look like we have a webcam shutoff button here. There might be one in the Creator Center, the ConceptD Create Center, but I'll have to look into that for the full review. Now this laptop does not open to a 2-in-1 functionality because it is not a touch screen, but it is nice how it can open further than like the standard 45-degree angle, because sometimes like most laptops open to here, and if I'm like right on top of it for some reason, like I'm in a small space and I want to kind of open it up a little bit more, it's nice to not be like stuck at a certain screen hinge configuration. So I do like that it opens up all the way just to give us a little more flexibility at how far I want it open. And so I can actually like see you guys. Hi. More tea, my goodness. One last note on the screen, they say this is a Pantone validated screen with 100% DCI-P3. We'll definitely get into the tests and check that out. This is also a 99 watt-hour battery, so I'm hoping for good battery life as well. And this is an i7 11800H with the RTX 3060, so this should have the performance you need for video editing, After Effects, 3D modeling, and the like. Now, let's go ahead and flip this thing over, get the bottom panel pulled off, and check out the upgrade path of the laptop. All right, now before we pull the bottom cover off, if you're curious about the exact pricing and availability of the ConceptD 5, you can head down in the description below and click that link. Now, if you do use that link to make a purchase, I will get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. But of course, that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. I got the bottom cover off, so that was good, y'all. It's time to check it out, the upgrade path. All right, that's interesting. So it looks like we don't have an upgrade path. As far as I can tell, that's them saying no, you're not allowed to upgrade. And so what I think we have here is what a number of companies have started doing, is they're inverting the motherboard. I don't know if this is for thermal improvements or ease of manufacturing or being able to create it thinner, but so far, without pulling the motherboard out, it does not look like you can upgrade this laptop on your own. So if you're making an order, make sure you order it with the exact RAM and SSD configuration that you want to be configured with, because otherwise, you're stuck. Links if you're ready to make a purchase, likes if this video has brought you some value, and subs if you don't miss out on the future uploads. I'll see you here in the next one.